Hello, my name is Michael Granger. This is my assignment number 4 from my PIDP 3250. Today we're going to talk about oxy-fuel welding. There's a little bit of safety we need to discuss firsthand. You have to make sure that you protect your eyes as there is ultraviolet light produced from the flame. So on the left-hand side we have a face shield with a tinted green lens, shade number 5. Then next we have safety glasses in a tinted green, shade 5, and then 2 different styles of welding goggles. Doesn't matter which shade 5 lens you use, it just has to be a shade 5 lens. It's personal preference. Next we have a striker. This is the only thing that is to be used to lighting your torch. Never should you use a Zippo, flint lighter, Bic lighter, or matches to light your torch. Always only a striker. Oxygen bottles need to be stored in a dry, well-ventilated space. Acetylene bottles need to be stored in a dry, well-ventilated space away from the oxygen bottles. Once you've loaded your cart with your bottles, you need to ensure that they're secured to the cart. This one happens to be done with a chain. It can also be a mechanical fastener. This is a fully set up oxy-acetylene system. This is a Victor Journeyman style torch. Inside this torch, it has flashback arresters built in for added safety. This is a torch body set up with the welding tip. The union nut where you join the welding tip to the torch body, ensure that it is only ever put on hand tight. There's small O-rings on the inside that will become damaged if you're to use a crescent wrench on this. Here we have the red line, which is the acetylene line, which is your fuel gas. Fuel gas is always left-hand thread. It has a groove cut in the nut, designating that it is always left-hand thread. The green line is your oxygen line. It is a right-hand thread. There's no groove in the nut, so therefore you cannot mix them up. These two connections should be tightened with a crescent wrench. Remember that they're soft brass and do not over-tighten. Here's the acetylene regulator installed on the bottle. Note that there is a groove cut in the nut, so it's all left-hand thread. Fuel gas, everything to do with fuel gas is always a left-hand thread. The top gauge designates the working pressure of the cylinder. The bottom gauge designates our working pressure. The working pressure is set to 5 psi. That's what will come out of the torch. This is our oxygen regulator. Notice there is no groove on the nut. It is a right-hand thread. Again, tighten it up with a crescent wrench. Do not over tighten because it's, again, soft brass and you can strip the threads and cause damage. The top gauge shows your cylinder pressure. The bottom gauge shows your working pressure, and as you can see, it's set to 5 psi. This is a lit acetylene flame. We have a nice feather on the end. There's no soot. That's how you want to get your flame started before you add your oxygen. This is adding into the oxygen. This is set up as a carburizing flame currently. This is a neutral flame. Neutral flame meaning that there's equal parts oxygen to equal parts acetylene. This is an oxidizing flame, slightly oxidizing flame, meaning that there's more oxygen than acetylene. Here's a short video on how the process happens. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Here are my references. The photos were all taken at the MTU in Clearwater. Again, thank you for your time.